All right, Aries, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for February 15th through the 21st of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information. All right, Aries, so this week we've got a sort of pivotal week, a shifting sort of week. We've got a lot of planets changing sign. So if you've been noticing things have been a certain way, this could be a week where things start to shift into a new direction. Now, it starts right away on Monday, and this is going to be involving the Sun, who's going to be shifting into your 11th house of Aquarius. It's going to be involving Mercury, who's going to be shifting into your 10th house of Capricorn. And then later in the week, Venus will join up with that Mercury in that 10th house. So the shift is on at least one level, this focus that's now going to be, I think, more towards your ideals in life, which is this 11th house with the Sun. So with the Sun here for about the next 30 days, you're going to have, I think, this awareness of your ideals about maybe what you can cultivate in your life in terms of groups or friends or community related things where you can really be a part of things larger than self, and really perhaps most importantly, be your true self. You know, that's what the 11th house is. It's all about that individual spark. And here with your Sun, you can really gain a lot of energy by pursuing these areas of life. So good prana there. Your energy levels are probably still quite good with both the Sun and Mars up at the top of the chart. Here, I think anything involving group activities or friends or networking can be a good source of energy for you. Now, in terms of that 10th house, Mercury shifting in here, so things are still, I think, very much about the big picture career stuff or the productive things in your life, because we're still in this lunar cycle of your 10th house where you had the last new moon. But now Mercury here is, I think you'll probably just start to think more about these big picture things, career, legacy, etc., and maybe communicating more in terms of that, right? So it might be at work, maybe more correspondence at work, maybe more daily activities, these kinds of things. And your diet, your routine, your regiments could be at a high point with that, where it's sort of coming into that sphere a little bit. So that's going to be earlier in the week, that shift where I think things will still be very much about the career stuff, but more in terms of how you interact and think about it. And I think it is an excellent week to continue to cultivate a lot of these 10th house things, because we are going to be in the first quarter phase of this lunar cycle for the good part of this week up until the weekend. So it's all about integration. It's all about taking those proactive steps in terms of what new beginnings you do want to see, both in the short term, which will be next week, but in the long term of the next 6 months regarding that productive career or legacy stuff there. Now, if you look here at the transit graph, we don't have a whole lot of aspects going on this week. In fact, just one aspect. You might even call it a minor aspect. Mars is going to be sextiling up to the North Node here Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's a very nice one, though. This has been Mars sextiling up to Jupiter since the previous weekend. But here specifically with the North Node, you know, there's this life path shift for you this early part of the year, which is about your self-expression. For the next 2 years, you're going to probably find a lot of support for you to express yourself, to follow the things that are your interests in life or hobbies, your creativity, fun, playfulness. These kinds of things are the 5th house. And with Mars, your ruler, in harmonious aspect up to that North Node, you could specifically be feeling quite driven to actualize these new things. Now, it is sort of reflective. You know, Jupiter is retrograde, so it's still about rethinking, rehashing a lot about what these new beginnings are in that sense. But good energy with that. Now, here on Thursday, we're going to start to be experiencing this new energy of Jupiter opposing up to Chiron. It's new in terms of this week, but this isn't anything new in the long term. In fact, this is the second aspect of this since the tail end of last year. So the key with this one is that we're all going to be going through a sort of healing with this, and it's not that personal because Jupiter's not that much of a personal planet, but in the collective sense, I think we'll all be healing our emotional wounds around what we may have been seeing with those possibilities. You know, Jupiter's retrograde going back over this position, signifying that there is this re-examining going on in terms of where we may have been maybe overly optimistic these past few months, maybe seeing the things that are possible, but now how we can, you know, be more, not so much realistic, but really just be more practical with it and apply it and see it for how it is. So if there are any wounds in regards to what's possible in your life, that's all going through a healing. All right, and it's all about this balance because Chiron has been transiting that 11th house. And so this is about, past about 5 years. So you've had this healing going on involving the group things or the community or collective matters, you know, that sort of stuff, and even with your ideals. So it's about balancing the fact that this new shift is all about your own personal interests, your own personal self-expression, and really how to balance these, how you can have this self-expression. And when you really found your true voice, as it were, you'll notice that it's exactly what the community needs or what the world needs, and vice versa. You know, what the community needs is you to have that true voice, to be your true self and all of this. So finding the balance with that, I don't think it's going to be a major thing this week. I think that'll be mostly next week once we go into that closer orb with that, but maybe something to consider with that this later part. Now, Friday and Saturday, we do enter into the gibbous phase, so there is a supportive energy that will be unfolding in regards to this lunar cycle, which is going to be, by the way, a full moon in that 5th house, which will be next week. So you're going to have this now culmination of a lot of things that maybe you have been reflecting on or have been involved with, involving that creativity and self-expression over the past 6 months. So support with that. That's very nice. And I think as the weekend unfolds, it's just an excellent time for you to be expressing yourself and tapping into these newfound interests. All right, Aries, so have a great one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.